Who are the coolest dudes on the planet?
United States veterans.
What's the coolest sport on the planet?
Pro wrestling.
And what would be the coolest podcast on the planet? That would be this one.
U.S. military vets talking pro wrestling.
This is the No Shave Man Cave. Two badass disabled vets sharing their love of pro wrestling, giving you their perspective as fans, talking about current events and matches, history of titles, and who knows what else. Let's do it.
Welcome to the No Shave Men Cave. Now your hosts, Ellie Jair and Jay Tilley.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
Hey, yo, I'm Jay Tilley.
Man, was Raw, or what? What did you think, man?
It was actually really good, except the crowd sucked. Like, man, that crowd was dead, and it's a shame because the in-ring work was pretty damn good. Like, I felt so bad for Kevin Owens and Gunther because, like, that match was banging and it was quiet, man. It was really quiet, and that was very disappointing.
Yeah, I think the situation, because I heard that a lot of the wrestlers had a really good time during the show, and the crowd interaction was the best that they've been part of in quite some time. I wonder if it was just the way it was mic'd up and we just didn't hear it properly, because I was watching and there were a couple parts where I was like, oh, there you go. There's some heat. Like, you know, anytime Dom is on or whatever. But yeah, everybody was saying how awesome it was. And then the little off air piece that hit Twitter and YouTube between Seth Rollins and Damian Priest evidently was like a very loud portion, like when they were shaking hands and stuff like that, and sort of alluded to some dissension in the ranks of the Judgment Day, which I don't think they should mess with the Judgment Day. And I think they should bring back the Hurt Business, and, you know, that would be a fun program that they could get into. Find a really cool counterpart for Rhea to have a program with. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, like you were saying on the show, I was like, is there something wrong with my sound? I kept looking over, but yeah, for all reports, it was just where they were in the XL Center. The building's a little bit older, and there weren't as many screens. Okay, and I don't know if that played into it, but yeah, all the superstars said that they had a great time. The crowd was great, and they had fun all the way through the show. So it sucks, though, like you said, you know, because like when we're watching AEW, it just feels like a concert and a wrestling match breaks out. Instead, it's, you know, almost the opposite. So I'd be interested to see if they're going to make some changes or what. And I don't want to say pipe in sound, but if they mic it up a little different, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Double or Nothing problem, right? Because Double or Nothing, same thing. It was really good, but the sound, you just didn't seem it was really loud. And
yeah, that's a good point.
Some of the people that were there said, "Oh, I know, we were cheering. It was loud in my section." Okay, what happened then? Like, why wasn't it loud everywhere else?
Yeah.
And I just, like, even looking at the crowd at Raw, like behind the fans there, and they were just sitting there like bored, it looked like. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully that was it. Hopefully it was really good and they had a good time and it was loud, but it wasn't just this Raw. It's been a Raw issue. Like the crowd just seems quiet during Raw for some reason. I guess they don't like cheering. They don't like wrestling. They like the Miz TV, not wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everybody has a role to play, and Miz is playing his role, but it's I don't know the right word. Like, has it gotten old? Has it gotten stale? You know, me personally, I think he should go away for a little while and then come back. And I don't necessarily think you should repackage him, but people sort of need to forget that they don't want to see him, or I don't know. But yeah, but I guess it's like how we were talking about how there's a Jericho problem. but he's not making the same effort to sort of repackage himself because, he's the Miz and he's awesome and he's got his show on USA with Maurice and all that. So,
I mean, he's got Maurice. That's all. He's good.
So there's that.
Who cares?
I'm not going to argue with a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, why would he care about anything else? But yeah, for the show overall, though, like I said, man, that yes, it was a good show. I didn't appreciate the 20-minute beginning promo. I was just like, come on, why do we need to recap that Seth Rollins says he's going to be a fighting champion when he said it all this time? And his first night, he did a tag team match. All right, but
with a guy from the other other brand.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep. And he pinned Damian Priest. So how come Damian Priest thinks he can beat him? There's just, man, just some of the booking choices they make just blow my mind sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Bully Ray over there on Busted Open said, was the show logical? Yes or no? And I was like, oof, that's a good point. You've got people coming over from the other show. You've got Seth basically breaking his promise on night one as a world champion. I'm going to defend the title every single week. I'm going to be a working wrestling champion, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll sort of let that one go, that he didn't necessarily defend the title, but he was still in a match. But I can't let go the fact that it was with someone from SmackDown. It was just like, dude, come on, man. I get it. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night, and don't treat me like you can't. It was 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And, and now we were talking before we came on air, and they're getting ready. They did a promotion for when SmackDown goes to Iowa, and Seth is an Iowa guy. Well, they're going to have him on. Well, it was advertised by the stadium, not by the WWE.
Okay.
So, that's almost okay. So he's going to be in a dark match. It won't be on TV, but he'll still be in Iowa. The fans will still get to see, a hometown guy. Okay, cool. But if if there's a promotion or some kind of thing from the WWE that says, hey, we got Seth Rollins, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and you don't have Roman, dude, come on. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I'm nitpicking.
If it's just a house show, I don't mind. But yeah, if he's going to be on SmackDown, then I have a problem with it. House show, I'm okay if they do mixing because it's a house show. It's not brand specific. But yes, if he's scheduled to be on a Friday night SmackDown, yeah, I got a problem with that. Although in Jacksonville, if you watch Friday Night SmackDown, the intro you get is about how Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns and Ric Flair are going to be on it. And I'm like, yeah, Hogan hasn't been on a SmackDown in ages. And The Rock, I think.
Yeah.
So I always laugh every time I hear that. I'm like, come on, guys, update your material.
Yeah.
That's somebody who doesn't watch wrestling who put that package together and just left it.
Yeah. Oh, we can use the same one. Really?
Yeah. I mean, they added Roman Reigns, but they just still have Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I was like, yeah, they're not going to be on the show. I get a kick out of it. It's like our local 4 channel or whatever. I'm like, come on, do better.
Yeah.
But on to Raw, though, I also enjoyed the Kevin Owens stuff in the back. I guess one of my frustrations with WWE is I don't like the impromptu match stuff. You just said the Bubba Ray thing. Was it logical? Did it make sense? No, that doesn't make sense because if you have a 3-hour show to fill, what were you going to do in those 20 minutes of that match? If that match wasn't scheduled ahead of time, what were they going to do for those 20 minutes? Longer Miz
Same
TV?
thing with So Seth Rollins comes out and issues an open challenge, and Damian Priest comes out, and you're like, and so just like you said, he lost last week. He was the one that took the pin last week. Then there was like you said, the stuff in the back, and I think there was one other impromptu match. And
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, there's 3 of the 6 matches or whatever that there was last night, and you're telling me we would have only gotten 3? So, I mean, obviously they were, the matches were going to happen. They just, had them scripted that way. But I thought the show was good. I know there were talks that there were some changes, and some of the reports, though, the wrestlers were like, oh, I didn't even realize that it was a change. So I guess it wasn't as cameras went live, they weren't, pulling Seth Rollins out of the ring, dumb stuff like that. So
that was so dumb. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
because
man.
Vinnie Mac was backstage, and I agree. As soon as
Yeah.
I heard that, I was like, "Oh gosh, what are we in for?" And then, yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a decent Raw. I didn't feel like I will say there wasn't as much thought as probably the best Raw I've seen, which is that one a few weeks ago where I was like, "Man, they put a lot of thought into this and all that."
Yeah.
I didn't feel that, and I imagine like I could see some of the Vinnie Mac stuff. Like I bet Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin getting squashed probably was a Vince McMahon thing, because those guys are decent named guys. Like to squash them like that's kind of silly.
I know.
I'm curious about the Dom thing with Cody Rhodes. Like, are we really going to set up a program with Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio?
So the not my fantasy that I want to see these, but the fantasy booking would be they have a match. You're a deadbeat dad. Well, I'll show you what a deadbeat dad is all about. Yeah, my jail tat is worse than yours. They have a match. Brock Lesnar comes out. This happens at Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar comes out, thrashes him about, and sets up for SummerSlam. And then we can get past the Lesnar and Cody. But yeah, I think it just, yeah, I mean, Dom has got so much heat. So what'll happen is Brock will cost Cody the match. And then Dom will come out and say, I told you, I even beat the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, clean. I didn't need any help. And everybody's going to be like, Brock Lesnar came out and F5'd him 50 times and you piece of garbage, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah. So
do you think Brandy Rhodes shows up? I don't think there was nothing to that Rhea bit.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see it. I think I just don't want, and we were talking at work too, I just don't want to hear that same line that she used to say. I don't
it's
know
not open
what
mic.
you think. Yeah, I don't know what you think, bitch. This is an open mic night, blah, blah, blah. Come out with some new material. She looks like there was a article she did, the New Yorker or Vogue or something, and she looked like she's in fantastic shape. So, I mean, I think she would be, she would be fine in the ring, but she's not. I mean, I don't know size in relation to how big Zelina is. She's I think she's bigger than Zelina, but not by much. So, I mean, how intimidating can she be walking up to Rhea?
True.
She's going to be like, really? So
true. And I might have misheard this, but did Rhea call Cody a pussy when Dom slapped him and he hid behind Rhea? I swear she looked at him and said, "Come on, pussy." I was like, whoa, I don't think you could say that on TV.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Go back and watch it back, because I swear that's what she said. And I was like, ooh, that might cost her some money. Because I swear that's what she said. And I was like, holy cow, I don't think you can say that. Maybe she said wussy. Maybe she said wussy. But it sure didn't look like, if you look at her lips, it didn't look like that's what she said.
Yeah, that might be on the 3-second delay. Say wussy, say what?
Yeah.
Woo.
But yeah, that segment actually, so the whole Judgment Day thing on Monday night has got me wondering if they're getting ready to break them up, or
I hope not, man.
Or excommunicate Finn Balor maybe and kick him out of the group, because you had the opening promo and Damian Priest kind of baby facing it and saying, "Hey, you're a deserving champion. I want to take you on." And then Finn's like, "Yeah, we'll be out here." No, I'm good. I can do it by myself. Okay, cool. And then at the end of the match, he kind of gives this look to Finn Balor. So is it, because I would believe that's where they're going. I just don't know who becomes the heel and who becomes the babyface, because the mannerisms and the way Damian Priest acted, he was definitely more of the babyface on it. So does Dom and Finn Balor get together and decide to kick out Priest and bring in who they were teasing like 3 weeks ago and they've dropped and haven't even had him back on the show? The NXT call up. JD Dunna.
Dunna,
yeah. They did this whole thing with him too. He was in the Battle Royal, big speech. This is who I am. Gone. I haven't seen him on TV in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and that part's like frustrating too.
Yeah, and how are you going to replace Damian Priest with JD McDonough? Like, okay, so now they're just going to go straight up China with DX, and she's the enforcer, talking she being Rhea. But I don't want to see factions change, and like if you're going to kick someone out, they should break the whole group up. But that's just me. They do it in music, they do it whatever. So there's probably more thought into it than what we're thinking. Probably not much more thought, but so
Come on now, it's not like it's the bloodline.
Yeah. So, but I thought the opening segment probably 4 minutes too long.
Yep, I agree.
And I got up and went and did something and had to rewind because I missed how Gunther and Kevin Owens got into a match. So I was away that long because the that bit went on so long. I was like, oof. So, but yeah, I thought the show was good. The flow once you got past that opening segment was pretty nice, and I like how they're making the qualification matches for the Money in the Bank seem more credible, and the win, like they're over there talking about how much the win meant. And I was like, okay, cool. I dig that. You know, you're putting respect on the name of Mr. Money in the Bank. And there was a thing that on I might have read it on Raha, or it might have been on What Culture, was that now when you go to cash in the Money in the Bank, it's for one of the world titles. It's not for the US or the Intercontinental, because that's
so it has to be world title.
Yeah, and that's what Old Theory did. He tried to cash it in on the US title, and when that happened and he lost, I thought, dude, Daddy's gone. He's going to get buried. He's not going to, like, by this time this year, you know, but last year I was like, or when Vince left, I was like, dude, he's not even going to be in the company, let alone, you know, be a main event player and end up being John Cena in WrestleMania. So to see how he's been able to stay the course and continue to elevate himself and that U.S. title, very, very impressive on Theory's part. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. But the Gunther and Intercontinental title reign, awesome. I think it's awesome. So they're definitely building up the Intercontinental title. And I don't know what you think about tag team wrestling, but I enjoy tag team wrestling. I like the double finishers, and I wish Sammy and Kevin had a finisher together, but instead they do their two individual moves, and then Sammy usually is the one getting the pin. So they'll break up eventually because Kevin will get jealous and but whatever. So, but yeah, I'm pumped to see Gunther continuing on as the Intercontinental Champion, and
he and KO,
very, very impressive.
They went out there and beat the hell out of each other. It was a damn good match. And like I said when we started, like I was just a little upset that the crowd wasn't more behind that, or at least didn't come off on TV like they were.
Yeah,
because those guys went out there and laid it in. I think it was like a 20-minute, 17-minute, something like that match, and just reminded me how good both of them are at wrestling. And yeah, good stuff overall. You know, are we leading into another Imperium? Man, these headphones are not as comfortable as my other ones. Are we leading into another? Like, where do they go with the storyline though? Because they keep interrupting them. They keep having matches. Can we not come up with someone else for the tag team champions to feud with? Like, are they really going to go against Imperium again? They've beaten them twice now. Like, why are we going to keep doing this? Now, you did have the thing later on with Matt Riddle getting jumped by Imperium. So I guess so let me guess, we're going to set up another triple threat. Like, what are we doing here? Why do we keep doing the same things over and over again? And that's where, that's where I started feeling the Vinnie Mac presence again. Like, oh, let's just keep doing the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll interfere this week, and I won't be around next week. So the show will go over fine. So it's like that 50-50 booking that gets really frustrating. So they either do a three-way or they either do a six-man tag with Riddle, Zayn, and Owens versus Imperium, or Riddle's going to have to go through all the members of Imperium in order to get through Gunther. So that'll buy a few weeks, and then they'll have a match at Money in the Bank to, you know, settle whatever. Gunther will go over. And
you think? You don't think Riddle will take the title?
I think eventually he will. It's just a matter of I don't think it'd be at Money in the Bank, maybe SummerSlam, and then Gunther can go get into a program with Seth Rollins and Imperium. Yeah, see, I can't think of who would be the one to take the tag team titles.
There's no one else.
It won't be the Usos.
No.
Could be New Day if they come back. I don't know who.
I mean, I can't name another tag team
Street Profits, Vikings, maybe.
Yeah.
Alpha Academy. I think Alpha Academy would be good because they're entertaining. They don't think a whole lot. WWE doesn't think very much of tag team wrestling, but that team is over, so it might. But then, yeah, I don't know. Or are they going to break the titles up? Or are they going to come out with new titles and it's just the unified? They're just the unified tag team champions, and hopefully they get rid of the damn Raw on SmackDown and SmackDown on Raw women's titles. Dude,
I was just going to say, speaking of new titles, when are they going to fix that?
God, seriously.
When are they going to fix it?
Are they in the mail? Who's in charge of the mailroom over at Titan Towers?
Right.
Can we check the mailroom, please?
We can, or we make, you just custom order them. We can custom order them and send them to them. We
let's
got
go.
You. Like,
yeah.
Hey,
we got our, got the Veterans Championship title right behind me and my Gift of Gods title. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine will be up here eventually. I didn't want to put it up yet because I'm going to take and get a bunch of signatures on it, but this weekend.
Yeah, so if you're going to be at the WrestleCon in Jacksonville, Florida, baby, come look for Jay Tilley. He'll be out and about, business cards and all.
Yes,
what shirt are you going to be wearing? I'm guessing Bret Hart, potentially.
I don't know.
So we'll have we'll let you know what shirt he's going to be wearing so you know what to look for. Boom, we got to make a No Shave Man Cave. You have the one, like that one that would go with that hat.
Oh, yeah. But I can wear that.
But, if that's not, we could try and get something whipped up. Damn it.
But, yeah, I'll have to find a hat or a shirt to wear. But, yeah, I'll be out there. Hopefully, you'll get to break away and come out and spend some time, too.
Yeah.
And you can catch us both. But going to try to make some connections and try to talk to some people and, get popular enough to where we can host it next year.
There you go. Hey, if you're going to be at the River City WrestleCon and you're involved and you see Jay Tilley walking around, flag him down. He's going to have this sweet title with him.
Yep.
With all the branches of service on there. And take a photo with him. Give him a shout out. Drop a, hey, Ellie Jair, hope you're doing okay. And we're going to be sending some shout outs and some well wishes to Mrs. Ellie Jair. She's got some stuff we're going to be taking care of and pretty excited to get on the other side of that one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will.
Woo.
And on that note, that is why we have not been dropping as many podcasts as we had been doing.
Yeah.
Personal lives get involved, and that's fine. We'll do our live shows, and I'll drop them in the podcast. But, when we come out the other end, we'll be going hot and heavy. That's what she said.
Boom.
We'll be coming out and getting back into our groove for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of, that's what she said. The NXT Tag Team Champions challenged Shayna Baszler, who I think needs a world title run, and Ronda Rousey, who needs to sort of be repackaged possibly. And I thought this match was really good, even though like their size and they're new to NXT. And you would think that they'd get the Pretty Deadly treatment where they get, rocketed to the moon. Cameron Grimes rocketed to the moon. And they come out and have a match and take an L. And you're like, come on, man. So I thought it was a good match. And Kaden did this move where she did this like almost like a short pile driver with Shayna Baszler over, sort of leaning over the middle rope. I was like, wow, I have never seen that. I thought that was pretty unique, a fun match, and Shayna Baszler got that clutch on, and it was just a matter of seconds, and she was tapping. So
yeah,
I thought it was a good match,
very good. And yeah, I'm with you though. Like, if you're going to debut a new team, why put them right against the champions and have them lose?
Yeah.
And are they, will we see them again now for a while? They were really good in the ring. They have really good chemistry, but you put them there with Shayna and Ronda. And let me tell you, man, like there's a lot of hate for Ronda Rousey, but she takes some crazy bumps. Like she did the one where she was hanging off. Oh yeah. She had the armbar over on Caden Carter over the rope. And who's her partner's name? I'm drawing a blank. Anyway,
Katana.
Katana Chance. Or maybe I haven't flipped. Anyway, she gets super kicked and falls straight down her head on the ground. And I'm like, that's a nasty bump, but she gets up and just fine. And I've seen her do all these other crazy bumps. Like, she is not afraid to go out there and try some crazy move to get herself dumped on her head at all. And shout out to
give my girl some credit.
Yeah, I got to give her some credit for that because there's some bumps that she takes that, whew, I'm like, oh God, lady, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do me like that, baby.
But yeah, that's
And
that
then,
WWE problem about just burying somebody in the first match. So hopefully it's not a one and done. Hopefully we'll see them back on and we'll get some more from them. But to begin with, I thought it was a good showing, but they didn't get over. So, it wasn't the kind of showing that makes you go, man, that's a team that I'm going to watch forever. It was, they're pretty good.
Yeah. It was you have the situation where you either go over or you get over. They had a good showing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which is it? But, and I cannot get enough of Ricochet to begin with.
Man.
But him, Bronson Reed, and Shinsuke together, I thought was awesome. And, shout out and well wishes out to the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Hope he's doing well. He got his C4 4 and 5 reconstructed recently.
That's what I had done.
And he's going to be out for a year. So we gotta do something with Ricochet and hopefully get a title on him, or I'm glad that they didn't put him in, just like slap him into another tag team. And being in a program with Shinsuke, I think will make him a little more credible, because Shinsuke, man, that dude, I'd like to see him get a world title run too.
Me too.
And be that international champion. And we mentioned a little bit earlier about the Sheer and Ada or Ala, whatever.
Yeah,
in Sheer.
In Sheer,
yeah. And they're getting ready to go to India, so they're making this team strong because they're going to be basically the headlining act along with with their leader there. Jinders, yeah, sorry. So I just Ricochet, traveled the world, had awesome matches with Will Ospreay and in Lucha Underground, and he was a great NXT perfect chemistry. I liked it. I thought it was good, and I think I like what they're building with Bronson Reed, and definitely with Ricochet and Shinsuke. So we'll see how they do in the Money in the Bank. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, my only complaint about that match was I knew it was going to go to a DQ finish, because WWE never gives you these dream matches. Well, yeah, I mean, who are you going to pin? Shinsuke? No, he's on a streak. Ricochet's been on the streak. So, I mean, I knew like right off the bat from the interview section on that Bronson was going to come out and cause the match. And that, I mean, it is what it is, but it was just like, come on, like, just let them fight, because I want to see those guys go at it again. And the way it's stacking up, man, I don't know who to pick for Money in the Bank on the men's side. I think your call for LA Knight might be right, but I could see, but I could see a case for Shinsuke too.
Yeah,
because
and I think what we've talked about as far as the using Money in the Bank as a stepping stone. I mean, definitely a great move. Shinsuke's held a couple of titles there in the WWE, and I think he could carry the world title. But like you said, I mean, the program with get the Intercontinental title off of Gunther and then build Gunther against Seth. Man, that would just be, that would be something. So
yeah, Gunther and Seth would be good, and then maybe Gunther wins, and then you set up Cody versus Gunther, which is the rumored main event for WrestleMania, or one of their main events for WrestleMania. So yeah, I could see that. I could see Gunther having a world title run. Yeah, for sure. Because I don't think Cody's going after Roman. Yeah. He's kind of just dropped that whole. He hadn't even talked about him, so it is what it is. His big feud's gonna be with Dom now, little Dom.
Ugh. All right. Well, shit, man. I want to, in my WWE brain, try and figure out how to get Cody versus Roman. And I think Cody is supposed to be on Friday Night SmackDown this week. So again, they're breaking their promise about keeping it exclusive and all this other stuff.
Yep.
So if they dabble with it and like keep you wanting more, just give it to us. Give us Cody as our world, as the Universal Undisputed Champion. and it's probably going to be around WrestleMania next year. Although he would have to go until like the middle of June in order to hit that 400 or 1424, which is to break Hulk Hogan's record. So basically, Money in the Bank next year is when Roman would drop the title. And I mean, it's already been just about long enough.
Yeah. Again, everything he's doing now with the bloodline could be done without a title belt. I'm sorry. But that was my other. So the other thing about the draft is, all right, if we're having separate brands, stop recapping what happened on Thursday so much. They did it like 3 times. I'm like, I get it. The bloodline. And again, Paul Heyman shows up. Paul Heyman belongs on SmackDown. Why is he there on Raw? But I'm good with it. Like, I like that storyline. I like what they're doing. But if we're trying to do 2 separate brands, like, just do a quick, hey, this is what happened, boom, done. Not a video package and recapping the entire segment. I was like, all right.
Right.
Just 3-hour show. I felt like maybe an hour of it was worth watching. You know, I just was like, fast forward. All right, I don't need to see this. I don't need to see this.
Yeah.
So
an hour of it, but not one straight hour.
Right.
It was increments that equals an hour. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like a 3-hour show, and I think I got through it in an hour and a half when I watched it again today to kind of go, oh, I don't need to hear all the crap that Rollins is talking. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cody and The Miz, I'll watch that. And because I watched it last night and then trying to get refreshed for this, I was like, well, let me get through the parts that I want to talk about. Oh, okay. Well, it's like an hour worth of it, you know, because I did want to talk about the tag match. I did want to talk about the Becky match because I like the story they're trying to tell with, and I like the fact that Zoe Stark is now in Money in the Bank with her too. So those two going at it should be fun. Yeah, I agree with you on the Money in the Bank part too. Like, I feel like the matches mean something, and they're making it a point to let them mean something, which is good. It's not just random person against random person. I almost thought Sonya Deville was going to win that match. I thought for a second, and I would have been extremely impressed and loved it if when Trish and Zoe come out, they distracted her enough, and Deville got the pin. Because then you could take Trish out, or you could take Becky out, and she could do something later at Money in the Bank and not be in it, and then just kind of push that feud even more. But putting them both in Money in the Bank, that'll work too. Does Trish get involved during Money in the Bank? So that part will be interesting. I don't know who the winner of the women's is going to be yet either. I guess I'll have to wait and see who else gets qualified, but maybe Io Sky, and then we get that Io Sky Asuka match that I think will be amazing.
Oh my God, that would be...
Yeah. That would be a hell of a match.
I like how, 100%. And I like how if they do so it's like a story within the story during Money in the Bank, they're off fighting on their own and someone else wins Money in the Bank. And they're like, oh, you cost me Money in the Bank. No, bitch, you cost me Money in the Bank. And now they can continue that feud into SummerSlam. But who is going to side with Becky to help counter Trish and Zoe? Is there going to be someone else who gets called up, or is there going to be, someone else is going to get compromised, or are we going to see something during Money in the Bank that they do something? So
you think Lita shows back up, or is she done?
I thought that for like a brief second. I don't think she'll be back anytime soon. I haven't read it anyway. But yeah, I mean, that could be something. Because then you're really making Zoe, because now she's partnered up with a Hall of Famer. She's going against another Hall of Famer, and she's in a program with the man. So you're like, oof. Yeah. Let's
talk about pushing her to the moon.
To the moon. Heck
and then
so
go ahead.
No, yeah. So then by this point, the crowd, there was a decent increase in the volume after the Zoe Stark match, which I was sort of surprised because, I mean, generally, WWE doesn't really focus great storylines with our women, but I thought it was a really good increase with the crowd. And I was like, okay. And commentary was doing a good job on how and why this match was important and why it was so significant that Zoe was moving on in Money in the Bank. And I was like, okay, cool. Now we've legitimized Money in the Bank. We've legitimized Zoe as to why she should be in Money in the Bank. And like you said, like once the the match is decided, man, they've got so this is what, June. So we've got 3 more weeks to really build the story to like either telegraph who's going to win or swerve us who's really going to win. So hopefully they do a really good job and, you know, really round out the field here on Friday to really get us to really buy into what we're going to see at Money in the Bank in England.
London.
So they're going to be in the O2 Arena in London. So, woof. Here we go.
Should have been a road trip. We should have
I
gone.
wonder how many tickets they sold. Yeah, man. You do you have your passport yet?
No, I need to do that.
No.
Especially because I'm really mad we're not going to Forbidden Door now with
oh my god,
the Danielson Okada match being announced, and more than likely you're going to get. Oh man,
are we going to see the Rainmaker?
Oh man,
are we going to see the
next
finisher?
Year for sure. Man, going next year for sure.
Let's see how many.
We would have gone this year if I'd had my passport. So, but yep, good stuff, man. I'm interested, like you said, about Money in the Bank to see where they go. I think Zoe Stark's build is going to be great. Then, we had the Slap Heard Around the World was on the show, but I did want to get into the main event too, because I mentioned it earlier about the seeds getting planted with a breakup of the Judgment Day. And I think that match showed a little more of that too. But boy, that was a hell of a banger too. Like the ring work was amazing on this night. Amazing might be pushing. The ring work was really, really good this night because the KO and Gunther match, fantastic. The Rollins and Priest, man, those guys, that running powerbomb into the barricade and he didn't quite get him there. I'm like, Priest's tailbone hurt right there because he landed just bloop. He didn't bounce off no rail. And then, you've got Finn Balor interfering in it, and the look Priest gives him, like, what are you doing here? And then at the beginning, the promos, like Finn Balor kept shooting Priest a look like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And all this. So
what do you mean you don't need me?
Yeah. And I'm curious how it plays into, my guess is next week we're going to get Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. And I'm curious how that all plays in and comes together with just the story and what they're going to do. I'd love to see Finn Balor take it from him personally, but that's just me. Finn Balor was Finn
Balor take the title from Seth.
Yep.
Ooh.
I would. I don't think it's gonna happen next week, but I would love to see that down the road, just because it would be some indication on the fact that he technically won the first Universal title by beating Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins injured him, so he had to, relinquish the title the next day.
Wow, dude, I didn't even think of it like.
Yep.
I remember the piece where it was like, well, I know my title reign is already longer than yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that would
he did
come
that
full circle. That would be good.
Onto the barricade, and Balor, he went too high, and I think I don't remember if it was a neck or a shoulder injury, but took Finn Balor out for a long time, and he had to relinquish the belt. And that's why his title reign was a lot shorter. And I'd like to do the full circle. I don't know that they will, but I think it'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
That's really, I think that's awesome. I wouldn't have never my WWE brain doesn't allow me to remember things.
That was my AEW brain working.
They don't want me to remember.
Boy, do they not?
Yeah, AEW. Yeah, AEW wants you to tune in every week, pay attention, and try and pick up the little things, because it's going to come back around, and you're going to go, you mean to tell me for the last 3 years they've been carrying this story, and this is how it's going to finish? This is awesome.
Yeah.
So damn.
Most of WWE is. Hey, they won't remember Imperium took on KO and Sammy 3 weeks in a row now. Just do it. It'll be fine. Nobody will pay attention.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, nobody will know. Yeah, it's for sure feels that way. But, I mean, they're doing something right. They're getting millions of views and packing out those crowds. So it's just a different type of show for sure.
Stock is, their shares are still going up. Everybody's still making money. And Vince is still there. So it's
Vince is still there.
Yeah,
but like we said, I will say his nasty little fingerprints didn't seem to be as involved this night as I have seen him in the past. So
yeah,
I was okay with him being there, because I'll admit, when I read the Fightful report saying that he was going to be there, I was like, oh no, we're looking at another Raw after WrestleMania.
Oh my God. That was terrible.
So bad.
Like, dude, you wasted such an awesome opportunity. You could have brought out Braun Breaker to like upset some kind of a story or celebration, you could have, well, maybe not Braun Breaker to interrupt Cody coming out as the world champion, but like, you could, Brock Lesnar could have came out and decimated him, and you could have gotten into that program, even though Brock Lesnar, has said multiple times he's not in it for the championships anymore. He wants to be part of really good stories. But yeah, I just like, oh man. So,
oh well,
yes,
it's in the past. I didn't mean to bring up the past and hurt your feelings anymore.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
But we've got a pretty decent program. Cody, I feel, is still a main event guy that, whoa, everybody's still screaming it.
Yep.
Dude. So we're going to keep a nice slow burn on him. Those little, dropping the little comments and the Miz saying, "You look dashing."
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just, I thought I thought the promos were good. The backstage segments. I wish WWE had someone as like witty as Renee Paquette.
Yeah,
because that would be awesome. That'd be a great addition to what they've already got going on Friday. But it would be awesome to add, so there's something on Monday. And God forbid, I don't know if you saw the report that Nick Khan is open to Friday Night SmackDown, A, coming off of Friday, B, going to 3 hours, and C, potentially not being on Fox.
Yep.
So it's like, whew.
Yeah, he also said Raw.
That will be...
He'd be okay with Raw moving off of Monday and not being on USA anymore. I was like, what is this guy doing? Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to like start a bidding war or...
And that could be.
Oh, God.
But I thought that was the sale. I guess the futures talk is still out there. But yeah, maybe that's what he's getting ready to do, is try to push or maybe they want to move SmackDown. I don't know. I have no idea like what the story is with that. That was a very odd thing to say. Bidding war sounds right. That sounds like a business move to make people, oh, wait, no, don't leave us. That it almost seems like a threat to USA and Fox right now. So
yeah, I wonder if Fox would be like, all right, go. I'm good. We'll put we'll put Slap Fight on in this spot. They're moving the needle, and we're basically paying the same company, whether it's TKO, Endeavor, or WWE.
True.
It's whatever. But
we'll throw some UFC fight nights on or something.
Yeah, I really liked the Seth Rollins Damian Priest match. Damian Priest, so coming out of SummerSlam, he sold the leg, and then coming out of, in this match, he sold the arm and wasn't able to do the Razor's Edge. I was like, this guy is really up and coming, and I could see him winning the world title sometime next year. I think that would be a solid way to go. To think, and like, if anybody doesn't know who Damian Priest is, look up Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. You would think we are lying because he looks completely different. Just like look up Walter on Walter versus Eddie, and the body type, the look, like night and day.
Yeah.
When he fought Eddie, just whew, man, just that's super impressive for, the machine of the WWE, gets them everything they need, whether it's at the Performance Center or whether it's just they're paying them enough to be able to take care of themselves a little bit better or whatever, but super impressive. And I was glad to see for the first time in almost 2 years, a world title defendant on Monday Night Raw. Man,
when he said that, I'm like, is that accurate? That's insane. And I mean, golly, 2 years, that's insane. That just blows my mind. It seems
like a lifetime ago that Big E was a world champion too.
Yep.
Like,
oh yeah.
I
can't wait till he comes back either.
Oh man. Here.
Yeah. I still wanted to see a New Day versus Judgment Day run, but I think we're coming to the end of the Judgment Day personally, which is a shame. I think they're doing good, but story wise, what else do they got? Whatever happened to them challenging for the tag titles? They made the challenge before Night of Champions that they wanted to challenge as soon as they got back.
Oh, afterward, yeah.
It never happened, did it?
I don't think it did.
Yeah. See, it's another
That's
one of
a good
those
point.
storylines that just disappeared.
They want you to forget. Yeah.
I just
They
thought about that
hit
because
you
I
with
remember
that little
thinking, oh,
blinky.
that'll be good.
Yeah. They hit you with the little flashy thing.
Yeah. Huh? What? That
Am I
wasn't
gonna
aliens. It was a
forget?
gas explosion. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just thought about that because I was thinking that would be a good program to get them into to free up Imperium from having to work KO and Sammy every single night, every single Sunday or Monday so far, because that's gone on since Night of Champions. They've taken each other on in some iteration every time. So it is what it is. I mean, that's just the nature of wrestling, I guess. But again, like I just don't see another tag team out there that's going to challenge Sammy and KO right now. I just don't think they've built anybody up. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent show. I enjoyed it. We'll probably end a little early tonight because I think we've covered most of it. But I gave it, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with three beards on this one because it was not Raw after WrestleMania, but it was not Dynamite last week. So we'll go right with 3 right in the middle.
Oh, Dynamite last week. Yeah. I gave it 3 as well. I thought, I wish we could have heard whether or not the crowd was as good as what the superstars were saying on like when they were doing interviews and stuff, and how much fun they said they had at the XL Center in Hartford is where they were at in Hartford, Connecticut. So yeah, I thought whatever changes were made, we'll never know if it made the show better or worse. But like you said a couple weeks ago, the thought that went into the show, the matches, the just the stories that they were telling was so great. So hopefully we'll keep seeing good things come from Monday Night Raw, and it's good to have a world heavyweight champion.
Yep. One other note: did you see the thing that came out recently where WWE is threatening the arenas they go to if they put AEW on? I'm like, man, that's dirty.
It has to be. They can't. No other wrestling company can be there like 6 weeks prior or 6 weeks after. They can't have any promotional stuff up while they're there, and just like all kinds of stuff. And that's what led to MLW losing their TV deal.
Yep.
So yeah, it's when they were trying to threaten Madison Square Garden to not let the New Japan collaborative show that they did. That's just, that
seems dirty to me.
That's just dirty.
Dirty pool.
Yeah.
But all right, well, there you have it. I gave it 3.5 and you gave it
3 beards.
3. I gave it 3. Why did I say 3.5? Not 3.5. Strike that from the records.
Man, it just bumped up one.
It just bumped up one because I got mad about the fact that they're stealing arenas. Flashy thing that you didn't hear that. 3.
Yeah.
3 from both of us. So there you go. A 3-bearded lady of a show. So good stuff, man. Well, we appreciate everybody. We're going to end this one a little early, but that's all right. We kind of covered the topics we want to talk about. So if you want to get in touch with us and talk to us, No Shave Man Cave on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble. Reach out to us. We are there. Kind of sort of bouncing back and forth the idea of starting a Twitch channel to stream some of this out here too. But for sure, that's where you can get us, No Shave Man Cave. If you ever need to get in touch with us, noshavemancave@gmail.com is our email. We respond to those. We like getting letters from fans, all that good stuff. Check us out live on Rumble and YouTube every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 8. Tuesdays, we kind of cover Raw/WWE news. On Thursdays, we're going to cover Dynamite/AEW news. And then on Saturdays, you can catch us live on our partner network, the Fantasy Sports Corporation on YouTube and Rumble. We do a show. We are their wrestling guys on their sports channel. So we get on there and we will talk wrestling and news of the week and kind of review the week in review. Somewhere in here, we're going to have to figure out how to start doing collision reviews. So we'll work it out. Maybe, we'll have to figure out something to start adding in collision because collision could be a good one. I have good feelings about this show if Tony Khan puts some push in it. And part of what I'm excited about is, so this past Rampage was really good. A lot of good stuff on it. Well, come to find out, Bryan Danielson booked it. And Bryan Danielson is going to be one of the main bookers for Collision. Him and CM Punk, both geniuses in the business. They book a lot differently than what the Elite does. So going to be probably 2 completely different feeling shows, different storylines, different types of matches. Going to be interesting. Sorry, I went on an AEW tangent. I will drop that now. But anyway, what I was trying to say is we'll figure out a way to start talking about Collision. Somewhere in our busy schedules, we will pull in a Collision review. We'll have to figure out when to drop that. But we appreciate everybody and everything you guys are doing for us. The support. Again, No Shave Man Cave, everywhere you get your social medias. And then listen to our audio version on podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. We drop almost daily, probably 3 times a week now. Podcast, pretty much this show, we'll drop it in there as a live podcast. So appreciate everybody. And it's time for the hot tag out for the man to finish us off.
Bump and feed. That is right. Like, share, subscribe to the No Shave Man Cave, wherever you get all your socials, wherever you get your podcasts. And please leave them 5-star reviews on our when you subscribe to the No Shave Man Cave podcast. Thank you so much to all of our fans, to the fam. We couldn't be doing this without you. To all our peeps for hitting us up. To our brothers and sisters in arms, thank you so much for your service. We love you. Some gave all, and all gave some. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.
You've been listening to the No Shave Men Cave.
If it's pro wrestling, we're talking about it. Unless we see something shiny and wander off into the woods. If you hang around long enough, we'll eventually come back. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Fire off your comments and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at No Shave Men Cave. Y'all be cool. And we'll see you next time on the floor.